Hi everyone, welcome to our first online music lesson. A couple times a week I'll be putting these videos online so that we can continue sharing our musical ideas together, and also through the week I'm going to be available to you through Zoom connections so that you can play your music for me and we can play music together. We can talk about anything that you need to talk about, anything you want to talk about music. And so I look forward to seeing you all again when we do that. Thursdays, we're going to be making music together through these videos. I'm going to be taking you through how to play different instruments. And today, we're going to mainly talk about the resources that we're going to use, how you can have instruments, and how you're going to play along with me. On Tuesdays, I'm going to have videos online for musicology, which means the study of music. In those videos, we're going to learn about different instruments. We're going to learn about people who wrote for those instruments, and we're going to learn about genres, which is a fancy way of saying styles of music written for those instruments. So anytime you name, say, a kind of music, whether it's classical or rock and roll, rap, hip hop, jazz, those are all genres of music, and we'll be looking at a lot of different genres that the different instruments are used in. So we'll start with the instruments, we'll talk about who writes for those instruments, and we'll look about what kind of genres you can listen to with those instruments. That will be a lot like when I brought in videos that I made and put together in the music classes at school, but those will be available for you online. All right, so today, our music lessons videos. This is the first of our music lessons videos, so I'm going to share with you some of the resources and how we're going to make music together while we are on this online format. All right, so we were just beginning our lessons on playing flutes, and in that lesson we learn about rhythm and reading music, and we learn about scales and melody. Our basic tools were either using one of these Yamaha recorders or one of these tin whistles, or penny whistles it's also called, used commonly in Irish music. Now, if you're in Miss Jemima's class, this is what we had in the classroom. If you were in Miss Stephanie's class, we were using these. This is for the upper elementary. The holes are a little bit bigger. There's a thumb hole that requires a little more coordination. Now, while you're home, you can learn to play either one or both. I do recommend that you do these lessons if you are in Jemima's class, and these lessons if you are in Stephanie's class, but certainly feel free to do the other lessons if you want to. And yes, parents, I am bringing these flutes into your home. You're welcome. All right, so now I know that Miss Stephanie's class was asked to take these that were stored in the student lockers and take them home the last day that you were in the Montessori class. It's quite possible not all of them made it home. I'm not sure what the situation was with these. We typically left these in the classroom, and I suspect that they're still there. Not to worry, we have a couple of solutions. First of all, if you would like to do these flute lessons on the flute and you don't have access to one, they are only about $5 a piece. And I have included links on how to get a replacement from a good Oregon company down in Medford that should be able to get you one pretty quickly. So you don't fall behind, you order it, we'll be here before the next lesson. All right, so I will include those links in the comment sections below so that if you don't see it in the original email, you can go and order another flute. Also, we're going to take this opportunity to learn to play keyboard instruments. That's something that we really couldn't do well in the classroom because we didn't have enough keyboard instruments for everyone. We're going to take some different ways of learning to orient ourselves around the keyboard, a piano keyboard, and learning how to read music for those piano keyboards. You might have a piano keyboard at home. Maybe it's an actual piano. Maybe it looks something like this, a little electric keyboard. You can also play along for the lessons using an app. I like this one called Virtuoso. It gives me a keyboard where I can change the number of keys on the screen, and it shows me the letter names of each note. The number after each note tells me what octave it is, and you can just ignore that for now. Or if you have neither of those, don't worry. I'm going to show you some resources for some virtual piano keyboards that you might have either on your computer, or if you don't have anything on your computer, there are some available online. So if you're watching this video, you can have access to a piano keyboard, and we'll learn to play those things together. So I am going to show you an online piano keyboard right now that you can use while at your computer. All right, so click the link down below for Online Pianist, and it will take you to this virtual piano in a web browser. Across the top of that page, you'll see these buttons here. And so I'm going to show you a few things that these buttons do, and then you can go and try it out. All right, so first of all, down at the bottom, we have our actual piano keyboard. Go crazy, go hit some notes, have fun. And then when you're done, come back here. All right, you'll notice that the keys continue to sound and ring like a bell long afterwards. I'm going to want to turn that off. I'm going to click this sustain button right here, and that makes everything stop ringing as soon as I take my hand off of it. So if you want to go back, turn off the sustain, that's probably going to work better for you. That is located right here. That's going to have the ringing on. And turn it off. All right. A neat feature on this keyboard is right here on this button called keyboard marks. Watch what happens when I click that. We get the alphabet put up here onto these keys along with our numbers. This is like the letters and numbers you have on your computer keyboard in front of you. So if I use my computer keyboard, I can hit Q and W and E, or 2 and 3, which are located right above those. That allows me to play this keyboard while pushing keys down on my computer keyboard. Kind of neat. Why don't you go try that out? All right. Now, if you prefer, you can always use your mouse to click on that computer keyboard. The letter notes button up at the top gives us our musical alphabet written along there. We've got A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it repeats A, B, C, D, E, F, G, because in our musical system, there is no H. You only use the first 7 letters of the alphabet. And so we can look at every A and play all our A octaves across the keyboard by clicking on them. We're going to leave that on. If I click letter notes again, you'll see that my letters get replaced by words of our scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. Some of you may notice that that C is different than the word T that we usually use. This is how notes are labeled in a lot of places around the world, like Latin America, like parts of Europe. We use letters in the United States. Other parts of the world use these scale names. I don't want to use these scale names because I use those for something else in scales. So we're going to turn that off by clicking the letter notes, turning it just back onto letters. All right, so we're going to see how to find notes on our piano keyboard when we turn the letter notes off. Because if you aren't using the virtual keyboard, let's say you're using a piano you have at home, or any other system, you usually don't have the letter names on there. Let's start by finding our C that's right in the middle. Here it is. There's a little dot there to show that this is a special note. Our C is easily found because of the patterns of the black notes above it. Do you notice that all the black notes are either grouped in a pair of 2 or in a group of 3? Take a look. 2 black notes, a space, 3 black notes, a space, 2 black notes, a space, 3 black notes, a space, and so on all the way across. So I want you to find somewhere on your keyboard a place where there are 2 black notes next to each other, not 3. Right here in the middle is one place where we have the 9 and the 0. All right. The note just to the left of the leftmost of the 2 is a C. In other words, anytime I want to find a C on a keyboard, I find where I have 2 black notes next to each other, and I play the note just left of that. That's a C. I'd like you to go and turn off your letter notes so that you don't have any letters showing. And I want to see if you can find a C. All right. If you had trouble finding a C, remember that you're going to find 2 black notes together. Could be here, could be here, could be here. And you're going to do the white note just to the left of those. Now, here's my 2 black keys and the C right next to it. Can you find the C before I do? We're going to look at the black keys. Let's see. There's 3 right here, so that's not it. If I look at the next set, there's 2. And the C will be the one just to the left of the 2. In today's lesson, I showed you where you can find a keyboard and how you can find the C on the keyboard. Now, the real fun starts when we start making music together, learning melodies. I'm going to give you that on the next lesson, as well as using our flutes on that. But I wanted to make sure everyone got comfortable with finding things. When I have my online meetings, and if you're having any trouble finding or using any of these resources, you can connect to me. I'll probably add an extra one early in the week so that you can reach me. You can always email me at my last name, harshenko@gmail.com. And I look forward to us making more music together.